Hello, good evening, and welcome to Weekend File. It is time for us to tackle yet another national issue. We thank you for joining us. A card reader is an electronic gadget that allows data transfer to and from personal computer with blazing speed. This piece of electronic gadget can be deployed in an election process to ensure that voting cards not issued by the electoral umpire cannot be used to vote. Recently, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Atahiru Jega, while appearing before the Senate, explained the importance of the usage of the device. He assured the nation of its reliability, contrary to the fear nursed by some Nigerians that the machine might malfunction in the course of accreditation of voters. According to INEC chairman, backup card readers have been procured to check the envisaged failure of any of the card readers deployed at polling booths. To further assure Nigerians of the reliability of the card reader, the election management body today carried out field testing of the gadgets in 225 polling units and 358 voting points across 12 states of the Federation. Tonight, Weekend File examines the merits and demerits of using card reader in the nation's electoral process, especially as the 2015 general elections draw nearer. And that's the outlook of the program tonight. I am Kyrian Umayo. Let's do this together. And now the main news of the day. Traditional rulers in Yoruba land under the leadership of the Oni of Ife, Oba Akunade Ajuade, have blessed the PDP presidential standard bearer, President Goodluck Jonathan, to win in the next presidential election to be able to implement the recommendations of the last national conference. The event took place at the palace of the Oni in Ife, Osun State, when the president paid a visit to the monarch.
The traditional rulers who came from far and near had gathered at the cradle to receive the president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, who was on a thank you visit to monarchs in Osun State, where he did his youth service years back. The Oni, Oba Adeshijuade, who noted that Dr. Jonathan was his good son, urged the traditional rulers to bless him. The president was then placed in the middle of the monarchs while they rendered their royal blessings, which the Oni said was significant in Yoruba land. The traditional rulers had the opportunity to present to the president the project they wanted implemented in the second term of his administration, which included the recommendation of the last national confab and the inclusion of Yoruba in the mainstream of his government. President Jonathan, while he spread, Osun State was his second home and promised that all the requests by the monarchs will be implemented if re-elected. The president said lapses complained about concerning appointments of Yoruba into top positions will also be corrected.
We can change the society. We want to go beyond just infrastructure. And that is one of the reasons why we set up the National Conference, which is the Pacific World. And we came up with a recommendation that if we implement to move Nigeria forward. What some people talk about changing and moving Nigeria forward. And to move Nigeria forward, we believe that implementation of that report is key.
Earlier, national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Adamu Mwazu, told the people that President Jonathan had transformed the country, making it the largest economy in Africa. On the entourage of the president were top hierarchies of PDP, Governor Segun Mimiko of Ondo State, the Minister of Police Affairs, Yelili Adesina, and former Governor of Ogun State, Benga Daniel, and Senator Iyola Omishore. The president was also on similar visits to the Owa Obokun of Ijesha-land. In Ile-Ife, Yemi Akitunde, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan says the federal government is not owing any state in Nigeria, contrary to speculations in some states, particularly in the southwest. The president said this in Ijesha when he paid homage to the royal fathers in Ijesha-land, led by the Owa Obokun of Ijesha-land, His Royal Highness Adekunle Romolaro, in his palace. President Jonathan explained that most states in the southwest are not able to function effectively due to huge debt and mismanagement of funds. He said every state of the federation collects her statutory allocation from the federation account on a monthly basis.
Where they have problems, either over award contracts, or probably some take facilities from banks, and banks are taking back the money, and when they're having financial issues, instead of addressing the people properly, they tend to deceive people as if the federal government is not remitting monies to the states. Federal government remits money to all the states. Federal government remits money to all the states. Federal government is not withholding any kobo belonging to any state.
Here in Osun, most states they are heavily indebted. They've borrowed beyond their capacity. So there's deductions because of their borrowing. And instead of telling their people the truth, they're telling them lie.
It also has very kind prayers, support, and blessings that you are renowned for.
The wave.
To our candidates,
They block the wave.
our president, and inshallah our elected president come 28th of March 2015.
The Owa Obokun of Ijesha-land, His Royal Highness Adekunle Romolaro, had solicited the support and assistance of the federal government to rescue the state from collapse, while the traditional institution affirmed their support for the return of President Jonathan for the second term. Correspondent Shegu Laole reports that the president also addressed the teaming party supporters and people of Ijesha-land who came to the palace to show their solidarity and support for the president. Now, the test run of the smart card readers to be used in the upcoming general elections took place today in 12 states selected in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The smart card reader is an innovation introduced by the Independent National Electoral Commission depicted to improve the quality of the exercise. Salatu Ezerike compiled reports on the conduct of the test run as sent in by our correspondents.
Voters in Anambra State who participated in the card reader test at the Ibuku 1 Oguta local government commended INEC for the exercise held in the 12 states of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
It is an improvement since the machine can identify the owners of the card. It's not a bad exercise.
Eligible voter, this is their chance. We can't be static. Nature abhors vacuum. We must be moving on. And we're moving on in life. We have new methods of checking accreditation.
From Kebbi State, stakeholders who witnessed the exercise expressed satisfaction with the response of the card reader to screen voters within few seconds.
All the equipments are okay. I have seen them verified about 10 people and it's speedy.
It's a simulation of what will happen on election day, and we want to see if there are other issues that we need to take care of at the policy level to be able to make the elections better.
We are very, very satisfied. To us, we have made adequate preparations.
And in Ekiti State, eligible voters who participated in the exercise at the ward of the Dalamore Ado-Ekiti area commended the demonstration of the use of the smart card readers ahead of the general elections.
Within 30 seconds, we are through.
We are attaining our objective.
We have assured the nation a very fair and credible election.
The exercise in the states were hitch-free and are judged good for the nation's electoral process. Talat Ezrike, NTA News.
Former head of state and All Progressive Congress presidential candidate General Muhammadu Buhari was in Sokoto to felicitate with former President Shehu Shagari on his 90th birthday. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports that General Buhari was also at Gusau, Zamfara State, in the company of Governor Wamako to condole the people of the state over the death of a mayor of Gusau. Mohammed Kabir Dambaba reports.
The former head of state was received on arrival by Governor Ali Umagataka Dawamoko among top politicians in the state. The APC presidential candidate General Muhammadu Buhari at the residence of former President Shehu Aliyu Shagari congratulated him on his 90th birthday and wished him good health. He apologized for not being able to attend the ceremony with his colleagues, saying he was out of the country for 2 weeks. Former President Shehu Shagari thanked General Muhammadu Buhari for the visit. Raji Shehu Shagari prayed Allah to guide him and wish him success in all his endeavor. Sokoto State Governor Ali Umagataka Dawamoko also felicitated with the former president on his birthday. The governor said he was out of the country during the ceremony but has sent a representative on his behalf. General Muhammadu Buhari was also at Gusau, Zamfara State in company of Governor Ali Umagataka Dawamoko to condole government and people of the state over the death of late Emir of Gusau, Alhaji Muhammad Kabir Dambaba. The APC presidential candidate was received at the palace by the State Deputy Governor Alhaji Ibrahim Wakala Muhammad. Special prayers were offered for the reposed soul of the deceased. In Sokoto, Abraham Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
Nigeria's sports family has identified with the Jonathan Sambo Continuity Project with a symbolic solidarity walk. Fisayo Gunfe reports that the president participated in the exercise, which started at the presidential villa and ended at Eagle Square in Abuja.
It has been a season of commendations for President Goodluck Jonathan on the giant strides recorded in the different sectors of the nation's socio-economic life. This time, sportsmen and women embarked on a solidarity walk with the president in a symbolic demonstration of the Jonathan presidency and its strong ties with the sporting sector. Vice President Namadi Sambo, Senate President David Mark, supported by members of the Federal Executive Council and other political associates, joined the president on the brisk walk from the presidential villa to the Eagle Square.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Some of the sportsmen and women who thronged the Eagle Square include ex-internationals like Super Eagles under-capped ex-captain Joseph Yobo, 2 former African Footballers of the Year, Kanu Nwankwo and Victor Ekpeba, former Super Eagles captain and coach Austin Eguavoen, Eagles defense Trojan Taribo West, Olympic bronze medalist Chuka Chukwumerije, gold medal winning Paralympians, members of the continent-conquering Super Falcons, former African track queen Marion Yali, amongst others.
We need a leader like him to lead us for another 4 years, to concretize the good work he has started.
Mr. President, we cannot let you go until your mission is accomplished. And your mission will be accomplished in 2019.
Responding to the endorsement given by the nation's sporting heroes, President Jonathan said his administration intends to even do more, as plans are already in the pipeline to introduce an intervention fund to cater for athletes before, during, and after their active days.
Because of government, budgeting, files movement, training periods are delayed, and we want to make sure that we stop that by setting up a special fund that can have a stopgap. When I see retired athletes, people who have made name for this country, living a life below average, I feel touched. And we must set up funds to make sure that nobody who has made this country proud will be a beggar.
Vice President Mohamed Namadi Sambu and Senate President David Mark said the present administration appreciates the contributions of the nation's youths who, through sports, continue to give the country a good image internationally.
Make sure that Mr. President on 28th of March carry. They have given you their full support, and knowing sportsmen and women, when they say yes, they mean yes.
Young music stars, Skills and Omawumi were also on hand to add color to the solidarity walk. In Abuja, Fisayo Gonfui, NTA News.
The presidential standard bearer of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Dr. Mani Ibrahim Ahmad, says if elected in the March 28 election, he will implement preventive health care policies to save the large sum of money being spent by Nigerians to treat avoidable ailments abroad. He was speaking at Jabi Lake, Abuja, when he engaged some Nigerians in aerobics in continuation of the party's nationwide campaign. Correspondent Joseph Orok completes the story.
Hundreds of thousands of people are believed to die as a result of non-communicable disease like hypertension, diabetes, and cancer, mostly due to their lifestyles. This, the presidential standard bearer of African Democratic Congress says, can be curtailed with a sustained exercise, which the party intends to encourage through its health policies.
Now, when you prevent the illness, you are saving the cost of treatment in terms of both human and material resource. We're talking of about 250 billion naira annually. Now, this is money that can be very useful in our economy.
Duty as Nigerians, we want to save ourselves the cost of going to the hospitals.
He also commented on the use of card readers in the forthcoming elections.
We want to encourage any process that will bring about a free, fair, and credible elections. But also in doing that, I think it is good that Nigerians are well informed about these card readers.
ADC, he said, is not anticipating any further postponements of the election, as that will be detrimental to the party and Nigerians in general. Joseph Orok, NTA News.
First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan has advised Nigerian women against being deceived into voting politicians and political parties who have no plans for the welfare of the women. Speaking at the PDP Women Presidential Rally in Owerri, Imo State, the First Lady said voting for President Jonathan will guarantee more progress of the Nigerian women. State House correspondent Makut Samuel Macham reports.
As in other states visited, women from all across Imo came out in large numbers to receive the First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan and members of the PDP Women Presidential Campaign Rally at the Dan Anyam Stadium, Owerri. Dame Patience Jonathan, after acknowledging their cheers, said she was back to Imo State to speak with women who are known to be supporters of President Goodluck Jonathan and the PDP. She reeled out the achievements of President Jonathan in health, women empowerment, education, infrastructure, security, among others, saying he has proven to be a leader who cares and can be trusted. Wife of the Vice President, Hajia Amina Sambu, wife of the Senate President, Helen David Mark, PDP National Woman Leader, Kema Chikwe, all reiterated that come March 28th, Imo women will join their counterparts across the country to return President Goodluck Jonathan to power. PDP governorship standard bearer in Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, his wife and other party stalwarts in the state all assured the First Lady that Imo State has resolved to return to its PDP roots by voting massively for the party. PDP National Woman Leader Kema Chikwe received defectors from the APC, ABGA and other parties into the PDP.
PDP is the original party and other parties are fake.
From Owerri in Imo State, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
A non-governmental organization, George Turner Foundation, one of President Goodluck Jonathan's support group, has paid school fees of about 54 undergraduate students of the Federal University Otueke. Correspondent Doris Akumoye in Yenagoa reports that the foundation's action is in line with President Jonathan's youth empowerment agenda.
The students who are indigents of various geopolitical zones were given ultimatum till Friday, 6th March, to pay their school fees or risk forfeiting their admission. But Soko came their way when George Turner Foundation, a frontline supporter of the re-election bid of President Goodluck Jonathan, intervened to salvage the situation. Secretary of the foundation spoke on reasons behind the payments.
He's doing this school fees payment for students who will have hitherto lost their studentship in the Federal University of Otueke, to get the students' fees paid for them at no further cost on them.
This gesture is one that is not only for the university, but for students of this university and for posterity.
I feel very grateful today.
He has set up a pace for other people to emulate.
The George Turner Foundation is a non-governmental organization committed to uplifting the living standard of the less privileged. From Otueke, Bayelsa State, Doris Akumoye, NTA News.
The Democratic People's Party DPP says after due consultations and considerations among its leadership and members, it has decided to adopt President Jonathan as its presidential candidate in the March 28th presidential election. The leadership of the party, while briefing newsmen in Abuja, has said President Jonathan's development records and his resilience in the face of hostilities has earned him their full support.
This time around, the party has no intention of leaving the ship without a sharp hatch. For that reason, the party has adopted the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, accepted the hands of friendship and cooperation extended to the party, and our choice is guided by national interest and consistency.
I reassure ourselves that the decision we took in December 2014 was in the right direction. We have not been disappointed. Our administration and confidence in President Jonathan's candidacy remains intact.
The All Progressive Congress APC Presidential Campaign Office in Lagos organized what they called a 1 million man march tagged Work for Change. Bolaji Akim was there and now reports. Well, that story may be coming your way in the course of this bulletin. But moving on now, Yobe State People's Democratic Gubernatorial candidate Adamu Maina Waziri has reaffirmed his resolve to transform the state and run a transparent government if elected into office in the upcoming general elections. He said this in Nguru town in continuation of his campaign tour to Yobe Zone C, where thousands of PDP supporters converged to show their solidarity to the candidate and the party. Correspondent Husseini Mohammed Isa has more on the report.
Adamu Waziri, while addressing the mammoth crowd who attended the rally, said if elected into power, he will transform the state and revamp educational sector so as to change the lives of young men, especially downtrodden citizens of the state. He said his past record while holding positions at the federal level are enough proof for his competence and preparedness for the task ahead, and advised the electorate to vote wisely in order to move the state forward.
On election day, you have got your right hand, which is freedom, progress, and transformation for 4 years.
PDP senatorial candidate of the zone, Dr. Rimalawan Ngama, said the PDP-led federal government has done much for the state, especially in the area of youth employment, transport system, and the educational sector, which he says is now the time for Yobians to reciprocate the gesture. The entourage later paid homage to the Emir of Nguru, Alhaji Mustafa Galadima Ibn Kyari, to solicit for his royal blessings. Hussein Mohammed Isa, NTA News.
"58 people have been killed in multiple bombings in Maiduguri. The explosions, which occurred at 3 separate locations, also injured dozens." Correspondent Maimuna Garba reports.
Residents of Maiduguri were thrown into pandemonium following coordinated attack on 3 locations within the state capital. The first explosion occurred at Baga Fish Market when a female suicide bomber detonated the explosive immediately she disembarked from a tricycle, killing 21, while 50 others sustained various degrees of injuries. The second explosion occurred 45 minutes later around the Maiduguri Monday market, which was immediately closed, so also all roads leading to the market, thereby making movement in the city difficult. In less than 30 minutes, the third explosion went off near Borno Express terminus. Some eyewitnesses said the bomb exploded in a bucket kept at the place. Governor Kashim Shettima, who was on tour of local governments in the south of the state, directed the State Ministry of Health to ensure that good health care services are provided to the injured free.
I immediately called the Chief Medical Director of the State Specialist Hospital to mobilize all doctors, devoid of whether you are on duty or not, to give a first-hand treatment to all victims of the explosion.
Chairman Borno State Youth Volunteers Babalawan said his members will intensify effort in the stop and search operation and called on the people of Maiduguri not to panic, assuring that they are committed to protecting the lives and property of Borno citizens. Normalcy has since returned to Maiduguri. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
In continuation of avowed recovery of territories held by Boko Haram insurgents, the Nigerian military have recaptured Mafa and Marte local government areas of Borno State, as well as Buni Iyadi and Buni Gari in Gujuba local government area of Yobe State. During these operations, the Nigerian troops recovered a large quantity of high-caliber arms and ammunition, including anti-aircraft guns from the insurgents, without the troops suffering any casualty. A statement signed by the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sani Uswan, says presently troops are conducting cordon and search and mop-up operations in the recovered territories, while efforts are ongoing to recover more grounds from the fleeing terrorists. The statement adds that with the capture of Maga and Maritel local government and the Chadian troops holding fort in Dekwa, the international route from Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, and Central African Republic is now fully secured. The commander of the Nigerian Army Corps of Artillery Kontagora, Major General David Duwane Ahmad, says series of changes within the formation are aimed at boosting national security. He said this when he addressed officers and men of the Nigerian Army Corps Artillery while taking over the mantle of leadership at the military base.
Addressing some officers and men of NACA, Major General Ahmadu solicited their support and cooperation in restoring NACA to its glorious past and assured them that their welfare and development will be a top priority.
When you move from a lower responsibility to a higher responsibility, all it implies is that there are a lot of challenges, but we have been trained to handle those challenges So there won't be problem at all.
Earlier, a Ghana Square and Garden initiated and conceived by Brigadier General Adeniyi was commissioned by the immediate past commander Naka, Brigadier General Abayomi Salihu. Established in 1898, the Nigerian Army Corps of Artillery, which is saddled with the responsibility of equipping and supporting the Nigerian Army with fire support, has been over the last 3 decades been participating in numerous training exercises as well as other internal security operations. In Kwantagora, I am Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
The FCT Minister Bala Mohammed says the territory's internally generated revenue is expected to hit 400 billion naira annually when its revenue board effectively takes off and its property tax bill passed into law. It was while being presented with the Newswatch magazine Person of the Year 2014 award as overall best minister on project implementation and revenue generation. Correspondent Ntairo Ben reports.
Dedicating the award to President Goodluck Jonathan and devoted staff of the FCTA, the FCT minister said infrastructural development of the nation's capital, particularly the provision of intra-city roads, will be accelerated when the FCT Revenue Board is in place.
And of course, we have already discussed with the authorities of the City of London who have the experience in revenue generation so that all the gaps and leakages in revenue generation will be plugged.
Editor-in-Chief of Newswatch magazine, Bolu Folayan, said the FCTA's land swap project and other initiatives have positioned FCT for rapid development.
Even if the Honourable Minister leaves the office today, he can go to sleep and rest that he has set a template.
He also commended the minister for being a good ambassador of the journalism profession. In Abuja, Taire Ikben, NTA News.
Now we'll take you back to the story of APC Walk for Change in Lagos. The All Progressives Congress APC Presidential Campaign Office in Lagos organized what they called a 1 million man march tagged Walk for Change. Balaji Akim was there and now reports.
The walk, which kicked off at Maryland, saw APC supporters walking through Ikorodu Road to Jibowu, through Moshalashi, down to Funshaw Williams Avenue, before it was terminated at Teslim Balogun Stadium in Surulere. APC chieftains and candidates took time to educate the mammoth crowd on the importance of the coming election. They urged the crowd to put what was demonstrated during the walk to practice come March 28 and April 11, 2015 by voting APC into power.
We have enough money to feed our people. If we can put money in agro-allied, you can grow economy from the ground up, from the bottom up. This is a divine change that is coming. And it's gone beyond the party manifesto. It's gone beyond the party slogan. It is a movement. Nigerians are just tired.
Conviction that Nigeria will be better under a central government ruled by an APC president in the person of General Muhammadu Buhari.
The event was also used to call on those yet to collect their PVC to do so before the election. From Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
If the environment is sick, every sector of the nation will be affected. This was pointed out when the Minister of Environment, Laurentia Malam, appealed before the House Committee on Environment to defend the military's 2015 budget proposals. National Assembly correspondent Ashatu Zango Abdullahi reports on this and similar engagements by other committees of the House.
The interactive session between the Ministry and the House Committee on Environment centered on the Ministry's 2014 budget performance. Chairman, House Committee on Environment, Uche Ekwinife says the situation where the budget is meant to keep the ministry running with no meaningful development to show has to stop.
The only way to make any meaningful progress in addressing the myriad of environmental challenges facing us today as a nation is to ensure that the capital budget gets maximum implementation.
Representatives of the Ministry of National Planning also appeared before the House Committee on National Planning. Responding to some of the issues raised by the ministry, The committee chairman, Betel Amadi, says if the country wants to achieve maximum productivity from all sectors, the budget office should be situated under the National Planning Ministry.
We believe that it is still very important for a developing nation like ours to go back to the regimented national planning system.
Meanwhile, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Aviation, led the management team to defend the ministry's 2015 budget proposals, while appreciating the efforts of the ministry in giving a facelift to some of the nation's airports. The committee called on them to hasten work on some construction site of new airports.
Well, aviation is a sector that we need to give all the support that they should get, because in aviation, you know, the bottom line is safety.
From the National...
The Joint Senate and House Committee members on agriculture have commended the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in the areas of mass reduction in food importation. The committee gave the commendation when the management of the ministry appeared before it to defend the 2015 budget proposal. National Assembly correspondent Aishatu Zango Abdullahi again has details of this and other committees' budget meetings.
The Minister of Agriculture, Akinwumi Adesina, recounted the achievements recorded by the ministry, which centered on the agricultural transformation agenda, as well as some of the projects and programs the Agric Ministry intends to undertake in 2015. The Minister for Niger Delta Affairs, Stephen Oru, while defending the ministry's 2015 budget proposals before the House Committee on Niger Delta, says the level of releases of funds for capital projects in 2014 was not able to cope with the pace of work.
We are working on the balance of 450 million because the procedure is that we must go back to the Federal Executive Council.
Meanwhile, NASDA and NASINA, all agencies under the Ministry of Science and Technology, also appeared before the House Committee on Science and Technology to give account of the agency's 2014 budget performance while defending the 2015 appropriation. From the National Assembly, Aishatu Zangwa Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Minister of Sports, Tami Danagugu, has urged the National Assembly to fast-track the passage of the Nigerian Football Association Bill to facilitate the resolution of the ongoing NFA-NFF crisis. The minister made a plea while defending the 2015 budget proposal of the ministry before the Senate Committee on Sports and Social Development. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
Minister Tamidana Gogo says inadequate releases of funds has been a major challenge to the 2014 budget performance of the ministry. He suggested effective legislation as key to mainstreaming of the activities of the ministry.
My expectation from that law is that it will be able to ensure that NFF and all FIFA rules will be adopted so that there will be no apparent dispute between what we are doing and what FIFA expects us to do.
The minister pointed out various tournaments and sporting activities lined up in 2015 and expressed the hope that the 5.1 billion naira 2015 budget proposal of the ministry will be approved. He also explained the ministry's reappointment of Stephen Keshi as the head coach of the Super Eagles.
I gave them a charge. I said, look for the best, get the best. If you want to remove Kechi, you must have a very strong and substantial reason for doing so. And you must make sure that any replacement for him is a better replacement.
Having considered the 2014 budget performance of the ministry and the 2015 proposal, the Senate Committee on Sports advised the ministry to improve on its public-private partnership to generate more funds.
I have no reason to cut a kobo from what they have submitted, because what they have submitted cannot even cover their annual activities. So we make do with what we have.
The Senate Committee on Sports is expected to present the 2015 budget proposal to the Senate at plenary for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Past lives, dreams, and soul travel are the keys to finding love spiritual freedom, and closeness to God. These were the submissions members of Ekanka, a religious movement founded in 1965. They were speaking during the Abuja leg of the annual Ekanka seminars. Dennis Adegunloye reports.
Ekanka is the religion of the light and sound of God. It's an Anglo-Saxon name, Ek meaning the Holy Spirit, and Anka is the way. Simply put, Ekanka is the way of the Holy Spirit. The seminars focused on what can give a person inner peace, fulfillment of one's hopes and aspirations, and most importantly, in the Ekanka belief system, taking the soul back to its divine source. These include, as some members indicate, being able to move into another state of consciousness through the use of the spiritual exercise of Ek and singing the Hu, H-U, or the holy name of God.
We have to understand who we are. Have we been in this life before? Is dream real? Then, soul travel, expansion of consciousness. Do we really live practice out of our body? Through this seminar, we want to tell the attendees that it is possible.
The name of God, Him, is not meant for Ekis. It's meant for every life.
Being an Ekis is the ultimate for me.
The ultimate belief of Ekis is the lifting of the soul to its real abode with the help of the living Ek master Sri Harold Klemp. This, it is thought, will free the soul from all earthly or secular bonds that hinder the soul's unity with its divine source. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
While the Independent National Electoral Commission says it has distributed more than 80% of the permanent voter cards, attention in 12 states of the Federation was today focused on the functionality of the smart card reader device, which will be used for accreditation during the general elections. Stay with us as we examine the test run of the card reader in these states. We'll be right back.
Nigerians to help me appeal to the head of state. If our mother is killed, there will be no other hope for us in the world.
Gloria Iyama, just 11. She and her sister Patience, 2 daughters from a proud, hard-working woman of Nigeria. A single mother, Gladys Iyama, taken from
Please
her daughters.
do not kill her for God's sake. Please, Daddy Buhari.
Unfairly tried by General Buhari, heartlessly put to death. 2 girls orphaned by a man who knows no mercy. General Buhari took their mother, took her voice. Make your voice heard.
On March 28th,
vote no to dictatorship. No to the man who shows no mercy. Vote for justice and compassion. Vote Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
Some say it's a sharp pain. Some might even say it's a shocking pain. And it's usually caused by hot, cold drinks. It definitely affects the quality of life. The treatment for tooth sensitivity can be very simple. Brushing with Sensodyne twice daily will give you long-lasting protection from tooth sensitivity. Sensodyne works inside the tooth and it soothes the nerve, and then the patient will have a relief of their pain. Sensodyne can be used every day. You don't have to use another toothpaste. For me to have a toothpaste that solves that problem so simply is what I like about Sensodyne.
As a politician, you must tell people what you believe in.
Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, deserves a leader with a multicultural orientation and a developmental agenda with far-reaching effects.
Jonathan has done his best.
In electricity, transportation, security, education, agriculture, commerce, health, ICT, and others, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has recorded monumental strides.
There must be good roads, there must be rail links, our airports must be good, there must be water, there must be power.
He is prepared to do even more.
I'll continue to work with you to create a better Nigeria for all of us.
28 March 2015, Nigerians reject extremism, oppression, and backwardness. Stand for freedom, peace, and progress. Vote Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the moderate leader fit for modern Nigeria.
PDP power!
Regrettable that there are persons who still believe that we cannot undertake any collective task in our country without the hindrance of ethnic rivalry, even after 100 years of nationhood. This conference gives us an opportunity to prove such persons wrong, and I believe it will.
He dared many. He did what everybody thought was impossible.
The caliber and eminent status of the delegates attest to the importance which Nigerians attach to this enterprise.
One of his most outstanding achievements is the convocation of the National Conference, where all ethnic nationalities came together and agreed on the future of Nigeria. Goodluck Jonathan is the only president that had the courage to do so. Let's give him another chance to implement the resolutions of the conference for our new Nigeria. Vote PDP. Vote Goodluck Sambo 2015.
This message is brought to you by Continuity Advocates.
Want your bathroom to dazzle? Give your toilet the hypo treatment. Brighten and also kill germs so your bathroom stays disinfected and squeaky clean.
The Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions invites stakeholders and the public to a one-day public hearing on the following bills: the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation Act Bill 2015, Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers Act 2015, date 9th March 2015, venue Conference Hall 022, Senate New Building, time 10 a.m. Special guest of honor, the Senate President, Senator David Mark. To forward memoranda and also make presentations at the hearing, contact the committee Secretariat, Senator Basi Edet Otu, Committee Chairman, Announcer.
Every time you get on the pitch, nothing feels better than giving 100%. When you hear the sound of thousands of 100% goodness and 100% satisfaction. Go all the way with 100% or nothing. Chivita 100%. 100% or nothing.
Who be those ones? Those now the INEC people wey want do this election well for us. Those small youth coppers. See, they no go fit stop me from Akos wahala na. I go bust that person head. No. That one na old school. They no do that one for year. But that thing you say you ready now. I ready with my voter's card. Your power for this place, let be your voter's card.
People of Nigeria, shall we don't hear the youth corpers and people where INEC they use for this election? No be our enemy. Their work are to make sure and help us vote the proper way. So make we cooperate with them on election day. Make we not quarrel or fight with them. Now for make this election better for we all them day. Make we also know, say, security men they are ready to deal with anybody who won't make trouble with any of them during the election. This message that from Independent National Electoral Commission with support from European Union through the UNDP Democratic Governance for Development DGD2 project. INEC, we they make your vote count to make our democracy stand gidigba.
Of 18 polling units and 4 voting points. At exactly 8 a.m., with eligible voters queued up to try out the new technological device.
As I just put my hand, just 2 minutes, 2 seconds, my hand, it just picked my fingerprint.
Within a second, 1 second, it pick, I clear.
The process is quite all right. There's no problem there.
While some persons were cleared within a few seconds at the Central Primary School ward, Gwada, most eligible voters, however, could not get their fingerprints recognized by the card reader. The INEC official therefore resorted to the use of the incident forms. This challenge, INEC says, cannot disenfranchise any eligible voter.
The finger failed, so the fingerprint, in fact, the thing is not encouraging. We are trying to find out if it is the technique or the handling. The thumb printing or the finger thing is just about the last thing. And where that doesn't work, you now fill the incidence forms.
The turnout was impressive and witnessed by the resident electoral commissioners of Niger, Kwara, Kaduna states and the FCT in company of their staff, security agencies, civil society organizations, media practitioners, international observers and political party stakeholders who described the new technology as time-saving and authentic.
Before, I was doubting if this card reader of a thing, it will work. But with what I have seen here, I believe there is no problem.
I carried my card to this unit to clearly show to the people that if you go to a unit that does not belong to you, the machine will reject it. It clearly shows that the machine is working properly.
A lot of people were skeptical about. We can all see it working, and people have come around to meet me to say, we thought it was something else, but now we are happy to an extent.
A scanner that didn't really work well, but we have got it right, and things is going on smoothly now.
To verify the holder, whether the holder is genuine or not genuine.
In Mina, Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
The efficacy of the card reader machines built to be used in the forthcoming general elections has been put to test in a simulated election setting in Ebonyi State. Uchechukwu Chibes Edam, who monitored the exercise, reports that failure of the machines to authenticate the voters is the major challenge of the system.
The postponement of the election has indeed afforded the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) time to publicly test run the card reader machine, which is being introduced for the first time in the country's electioneering process. Conducting a mock accreditation at the 24 voting points in Izi Unuhu, Ebonyi State, which has appreciable number of 12,207 voters, out of which 8,880 persons have collected their permanent voters card. It was observed that the card reader machines only verified the cards, but were unable to authenticate the supposed owners of the cards. Also, the batteries of the device could not retain power long enough.
The verification failed. It's okay, but the problem we are having is authentication.
Out of 117, 3 was able to authenticate.
We cannot authenticate, especially on the fingerprint. Again, the machine battery cannot carry for the whole day. And from my observation, there is no spare battery in some polling units. Most of the machine packed up before 12 noon.
The resident electoral commissioner for Ebonyi State, Dr. Lawrence Azubike, who monitored the exercise in the company of the Commissioner of Police, Mega Ridiko, and other security agents, said the essence of the mock election has yielded expected results, with the notable challenges which will be solved.
We will file our reports to Abuja. If the problems are peculiar to Abuja, of course they will know what to do about it.
In spite of the voters' education and sensitization put up by the electoral body and the media, the exercise recorded low turnout of voters. From Izi Unuhu in Abakaliki, Uchechukwu Chibezidam, NTA News.
The test card readers for the accreditation of eligible voters was carried out successfully at the Dam Maliki ward of Kumbutsu local government area of Kano State. Correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali monitored the exercise and put together this report.
The exercise commenced at the stipulated time where eligible voters from 54 voting points across the world came out in mass for the exercise. Within a period of 5 hours, most of the cards were verified and accepted by the card reader machines.
Verification passed. Verification failed.
This is one of the polling units in the Maliki ward where the verification process is taking place. Let's hear from the INEC official. So how is the situation now?
Yeah, the situation has been very, very well so far. We've been able to, right now, accredited like 50 people, and out of them, 39 of them inside have been successfully, their fingerprints has been successfully done. So the minor problems we just get is that some of them, our hands are very rough. So those that have very rough, they are a little difficult to get. But at the end of the day, after scanning all 5 fingers, we are successful.
At Batakai and Bubugaje polling units, the situation was the same, but with few challenges where fingerprints of some eligible voters could not be captured by the card readers. Those affected were referred to officer in charge of incident form for further verification.
It's very much successful. We have seen no hindrance.
If 37 people, randomly will come and try to verify, only 3 were captured. In the other machine, 22 came and only 3 were captured. No, there is something else in this process altogether.
Other areas visited by NTA News include Sheka Ungwa, Sabor Mandawari, and Sheka Primary School under Maliki Ward, and the exercise was successful.
Yeah, I'm already been accredited.
In all the places we have visited so far, almost all the cards that have been presented have been verified. But I think about 2 or 3 cards were rejected. So where you have cards are rejected, it means they are either fake cards or damaged cards.
From Kano, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The National Peace Committee for 2015 elections, headed by former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, says the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Marshal Alex Bade, the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, and the Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, have all assured the committee that they are more ready now for a credible, free and fair election. The committee, which briefed the media at the end of their meeting, said it was stressed that the 2 major political parties should advise their members to exercise restraint and avoid languages capable of causing violence in the society. General Abubakar, the chairman of the committee, directed Justice Rose Ukeje to brief the media on the outcome of the meeting.
All of them assured the committee that there will be election on the days set out. There is no fear of a further adjournment.
The committee said another meeting is expected to hold between the 18th and 19th of March, where all stakeholders are expected to ask questions on gray areas. And up ahead, a discussion on the issues raised with an official from the Independent National Electoral Commission, and actually a former INEC resident electoral commissioner will be joining us for discussions. Stay with us on Weekend File.
It's not London, no. London, look, man, up to London, up to London, up to London. London, 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 London. I'm going to London. Where to? My friend, I'm going to London. A school there wants me to come and talk to their students. I'm late already. I'm going to London. Hello children, today I'll be telling you a beautiful African story about how the tortoise fell from the sky and got its punch back. You better upgrade.
Stay ahead. Upgrade to Glow Mobile Broadband high-speed internet for everyone. Enjoy the new all-purpose data packs. Use it the way you want. 1-day pack for 50 naira, 3-day pack for 100 naira, and 7-day pack for 200 naira. Go ahead. Glow Unlimited.
Thanks, Mum.
Being a mum, I always try to do what's best for my family.
Thanks, Mum.
Though sometimes they may think otherwise.
Thanks, Mum.
Luckily, there's Capri Sun.
Thanks, Mum.
And that's one thing we can always agree on.
Thanks, Mum. Thanks, Mum.
A delicious juice drink packed in fun pouch. Capri Sun. For a genuine thanks, Mum. House of Cheese.
A tribe that rules has solid rules. 1, 2, 3.
Rule number 1, friends stay close. Friends in the tribe, stay closer. Feel me?
Rule number 2, in the tribe, you always know what's up with Facebook, WhatsApp, BB, and Twitter. Guess what? It's free.
Rule number 3, there are no rules with SMS. It's endless. Yes, boss.
Rule number 4, enjoy very long conversations with that special someone.
Enjoy endless connections to your friends in Airtel Tribe with free calls, free WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and BBM. You also enjoy up to 200% bonus on your recharges to call all networks. Migrate now by dialing *312# and start a live endless connections. Airtel Tribe.
Taste the nectar of paradise. Chi exotic nectar in pineapple, coconut, multi-fruiter, and other exotic flavors. The taste will take you there. Chi exotic nectar, escape to paradise.
From the House of Chi.
Introducing the great tasting new Mini-Me Chin Chin. Rich in yummy ingredients like milk, butter, and wheat.
Mini-Me, crunchy. Mini-Me, tasty. Playful. Cheerful. Very big.
Break the boredom with the unique taste of Mini-Me Chin Chin.
Like my Mini-Me, yeah. Auntie.
Hello, my dear. I see you went shopping with your mom, right? And what did you buy?
Power oil. It has 0 cholesterol and 0 trans fats, and contains vitamin A and natural vitamin E. It's a healthy oil for a healthy family.
I'll buy Power Oil next time I go shopping, huh?
Power Oil, healthy for you.
And you're welcome to the interview segment of Weekend File. And tonight we have as our guest former INEC resident electoral commissioner and also former member of Ways Electoral Reform Committee in the person of Professor Abdul Hamid Ujo. Prof, you're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much.
Yes, as somebody with this kind of background, you have been observing the electoral process, so you know, because of the crucial nature of this year's election, and we have moved from postponement to the introduction of a card reader. So, how would you assess the process so far?
Well, just like every other thing that's been done by human beings, we also expect some lapses here and there. But by far, we are actually on the right course now, in the sense that the issue of card readers, will soon get over it, in the sense that, yes, we're actually experimenting it, in the sense that INEC has the power to experiment with methods of improving the electoral process. And I think the card reader thing is one of such. And then, well, views from some Nigerians are very negative on it. Well, to me, I believe that INEC should not be convicted before trial. They should be given the opportunity to do it. And if they fail, of course, Nigerians should hold them responsible. The only problem I have, which if the guy has not taken care of that, is that in this type of situation, there should be a plan B, in the sense that we are experimenting with this thing for the first time, and given the technological environment in Nigeria, we could get into unforeseen situations.
Yes.
unforeseen situation would arise. So there is the need for Plan B that INEC can fall back. You remember the case of Anambra election?
Yes.
Why we had problem there was the fact that there was no Plan B. And when the issue of voters' card came, it actually destroyed the electoral process. So we should like to have a Plan B.
Plan B. All right, sir. You know, reason for the trial that took place today is to test the functionality of the gadget. And from few reports that we saw, 150 people are accredited. Of course, 39 was not recognized by the card reader, and in some other cases, people's card were not recognized by the card reader in this very text run we're talking about. And again, you know, we're going to be meeting a bigger exercise on the voting day, and a situation where people, you know, who are rejected by the card reader may cause trouble in the polling station. And you talked about Plan B by INEC, which of course you say is not there. So in this connection, what would you tell us about what you observed from the test run we've had so far?
Well, I expected that to happen in view of the fact that we are, experimenting for the first time, and also for the fact that I told you we have poor, infrastructure in terms of electricity supply. Number one, we don't have, and we also have the problem of IT in general. So the thing is that why I'm talking about Plan B, if there is a Plan B, it can overcome all these things, because Plan B is administrative. What is there that in case this thing doesn't work, use this thing. Simple as that. After all, we are now going to conduct this election in all the, the police stations in Nigeria. And not just police stations, but also, new ones that are coming up, because we're actually going to make some arrangement for the displaced persons.
Okay, so I'm sorry for cutting you short there. As somebody who has been in this business of organizing elections, right? What would be the Plan B you talked about? What would you be suggesting to Jega, for instance, as Plan B?
Yes, Plan B is simple. In case that if A does not work, adopt B, and B is that go back to operating without the reader's card.
Because somebody said that one's finger was not recognized because it was rough.
Yes.
I know elsewhere in this country, many people are farmers and don't expect a farmer to have a very smooth palm. Right, so it must be rough one way or the other. And if the card reader does not recognize such a person, and he knew that he got a card from INEC, what would be the person's reaction on a voting day?
But you know that there is a voters register there.
It could be used.
Yes, of course. When the voters register is there, and what else do you do? Check the voters register. If the guy's name is
there, name is there,
fair enough.
Okay.
You know, this type of situation, the voter should not be made to suffer as a result of the problem of INEC. This is a basic theory in politics. The voter should not be made to suffer because of the inadequacies of the Electoral Management Committee.
Okay.
So this is very, very important.
Okay, sir. Doctor, thank you for really coming. You are saying that Plan B, the voters register could be used for Plan B if the card reader fails.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, there, sir, for really sharing your time with us and of course educating us on this. Thank you very much for coming. I have been speaking with Professor Abdul Hamid Ujo, former INEC resident electoral commissioner and former member of UWE's Electoral Reform Committee. But we now pause for more messages. We can file returns. Stay with us.
Good people of Nigeria. During the general elections, accreditation of voters will take place in all polling units from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Card readers will be used to verify the permanent voters card presented by each voter. Names of voters who pass the verification by the card reader will be checked in the voters register and duly accredited. Voting will commence at 1:30 p.m. till the last person on the queue has voted. Do not come to the polling unit with another person's voter's card. Keep away from the polling unit if you do not have a permanent voter's card. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission,
supported by the European Union through the UNDP Democratic Governance for Development DGD2 project. I'm making your vote count, consolidating our democracy.
Nigeria is a democracy, not a monarchy. Buhari, why do you perpetually threaten Nigerians?
If you don't do it, it's the risk of your life.
Nigerians, we were delivered once from the tyranny of General Buhari.
The ambition of any politician is once the throne.
On March 28th, go and vote en masse. Vote for unity. Vote for the love of Nigeria. Vote Goodluck Ebele Jonathan for the continuity of one Nigeria. A message from We Are Nigerians.
From north to south.
Undeterred by the enormous national challenges inherited since inception, the PDP government has worked compassionately to put Nigeria in the League of Nations. From a pariah nation to a nation of international repute substantiated by the influx of global investors into Nigeria, the decay in national infrastructure is receiving the much-needed attention it deserves. The trains are back on tracks after years of comatose. The second Niger bridge proposed decades ago is now in progress. Agri sector is being revamped. The hitherto stunted economy is now #1 in Africa. Understandably, we are not yet where we deserve. Yes, but we are making significant progress. Surely we are getting there.
Vote Goodluck Jonathan for president. Goodluck Sambo. Transform Nigeria.
This message is brought to you by Continuity Advocates.
Through the journey that has lasted 54 years, the message has been peace. Our founding fathers preached it. Our fathers after them preached same.
We need a lot of peace.
The fight against violence and insurgency is not a one-man fight. It is a collective effort from all of us. Through his spokesperson, His Royal Highness Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, Emir of Kano, reiterated the importance of peaceful coexistence.
His Royal Highness encourages you to live together in peace and harmony, because without peace, there can never be progress.
Let's join Mr. President and the security agencies in the fight against insurgency and the promotion of peace. This message is from Focus Youth for Progressive Peace Initiative in Nigeria.
The age of impunity, Odi Town, beautiful and picturesque, razed to the ground by executive fiat. In the age of darkness, Sakibian became a case of man's inhumanity to man by executive fiat. The sacred chambers of the Supreme Court and its pronouncements were trampled upon with impunity. Then, a new leadership of President Goodluck Jonathan emerged. Anambra, Ekiti, Osun, Edo were pronounced by the court for the opposition. The president congratulated. Today, No political prisoner in Nigeria. No single exile from Nigeria. The rule of law is at the heart of a thriving democracy. This is a legacy President Goodluck Jonathan is bequeathing on the nation. Vote President Goodluck for the future of our children.
PDP!
Talk to your neighbor.
And more reports now. The benefits of regular exercise are hard to ignore, as constant warming up makes you feel better, have more energy, and even increases longevity and productivity at your workplace. The staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, who have keyed into this organization's Keep Fit exercise tagged Health Work, are already testifying to this fact, as they have positive results to show for it. But Adele, who covered the March edition of NTA's Health Work, has the report.
These are members of staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, at the March edition of NTA's Keep Fit exercise tagged Health Walk. Though, this time, there was no road walk. The program was, however, not devoid of its usual fun and excitement, as the instructors put the participants through some drills.
We believe strongly that if we maintain this wonderful, the primary asset of this organization on a healthy form, then the organization is better for it.
To the participants who already counted their gains, absentees are missing out a great deal.
It's so colorful. Both the fat, the thin, the whatever size is, they're all here.
One is looking younger. You know, I can run 1,000 kilometers now.
It doesn't matter whether you are fat or slim. You need to keep fit. It will enhance your productivity.
Aside from the aerobics, there were also indoor games like Ludo, drafts, table tennis and lawn tennis for the participants to test their skills and ability. And to those who ignorantly believe they don't need exercise, here are words of advice.
It's really meant for everybody, you know, the tosses, the crumbs that you have in your system doesn't know fat or slim.
The next edition of NTA Health Walk comes up in April, where there will be aerobics every weekend at the NTA Arena. In Abuja, Bade, Adeleye, NTA News.
Sports now. Dream Team 6 reaches 2015 All-Africa Games final qualification round as Team Nigeria continue to dazzle at the 12th African Junior Athletics Championship in Addis Ababa. Kena Imabodike has details on Sports Update.
The national under-23 team completed a double victory against the Gabon